Hey Scorpio, welcome to your weekly forecast for March 22nd through the 28th. This is going to be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you happen to stumble upon this video outside of the dates I just mentioned, don't you worry your pretty little head, my darlings. You came upon the video whenever it was time for you to hear the messages. This is a general reading. Not every single message will resonate, but take what does and leave the rest. So without further ado, my darlings, what is going on for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising? And we're going to go ahead and lay down the cards and get right on into it. Your first card here, my dears, is the King of Swords. Okay. King of Swords is very, very, very intellectual, logical energy. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people watch the tarot readings for love and romance guidance. And so when like these court cards come up, they immediately go into the mindset of like somebody that they're dealing with or like an air sign. But in my videos on my channel, I want to focus on you. I don't want to focus so much on other people. I want to focus on you, especially in the weekly forecasts. So I do my love and romance readings separately. So we're going to look how the cards apply to you and your life and your energy, Scorpio. So if you have an air placement, if you have a Libra or Gemini or Aquarius placement, this part of your life could be at the forefront right now, or you might just really be embodying that air energy, right? As Scorpios, I'm a Scorpio as well. You know, we're very intense. We're very intense even among water signs in terms of like that emotional like tapping into our emotions, tapping into the heart center, tapping into that deep kind of shadow work or shadow self. And we can become very lost in that, right? Like we can really, really just really go inward and be in our feelings and be very comfortable there. But with the King of Swords, this is the energy of being able to be in the realm of like planning, thinking, bringing something to fruition. It's interesting because there was a similar message for Cancer that came up. And so I don't know if some of you might be dealing with Cancer because the message seems kind of similar to me. But for them, it was like coming out of the heart space and being very grounded in the body. And for Scorpio, I'm not saying that you guys aren't grounded right now, but I feel like you're coming out of the heart space and into the realm of air, into the realm of thought. Like, okay, I know what I want. I know what direction I want to go in. Now, how can I make that happen? Okay, some of you are coming into situations where some offer is being presented to you, or somebody is making some kind of proposal. Now, when I say proposal, I don't necessarily mean marriage. Keep that in mind. It can be a business proposal, it can be coming together to work on a project together, a proposal for business. But I feel like somebody is presenting you with something they're wanting you to be a part of or to help out with. For those of you who don't know, one of the meanings of the King of Swords is like a lawyer, attorney kind of energy, mediator. So you might be kind of being encouraged here, Scorpio, to go and to get some legal counsel or to go and consult with an expert in whatever it is you're kind of thinking about taking on right now, right? To ensure your success. I'm seeing contracts being signed. Contracts are being signed. So don't sign anything without knowing what you're signing, right? What the risks might be, how you can protect yourself if those risks end up actually happening, if those scenarios actually end up coming to fruition. So I feel here there's a sense here of getting counsel. This is really interesting. I just kind of got like this eerie feeling, and I'm dating myself here. Those of you who are younger are going to have no idea what I'm talking about, but you can look it up. Magic of the internet. I have a warning for you guys, Scorpio. I have a warning. Um, there's a song by the Police called You'll Be Wrapped Around My Finger. I think that's what the song is called. But I just, as I'm like reading the energy, I all of a sudden got this mental picture of the video where he's like dancing around. Sting is dancing around and he's like surrounded by these candles. And he says, your face will turn to alabaster when you realize your servant is your master, and then like he knocks everything down. So that this is like a song about like somebody coming in and like putting you on this pedestal and like really kind of praising you. But then there's like this power shift. Okay, there's like this energy of all of a sudden, you're wrapped around this person's finger, or they have you right where they want you. So I feel here that some of you are in a situation where you're being exalted or praised, or you're being treated as though you're some kind of like, golden child here, or you're special. But this can be a situation in which someone stands to gain a lot from you, and you might find yourself now in like a sticky situation, or where things are very complicated. So if you are doing business with someone, or if you are getting ready like to marry somebody or something, it's a good idea for you to get contracts in place. Understand, do your research. Maybe it's going to be a good time to look into prenuptial agreements. Maybe it's going to be a good time, if you're doing something in terms of business, what the terms of parting would be, right? If there's going to be some kind of situation in the future, like how would we handle the situation if we went different ways? Who gets what kind of situation? I just kind of feel here, Scorpio, that even though Scorpios are very smart, even though Scorpios are very uh, good at kind of reading energies, or reading people, or reading situations, a lot of people don't like Scorpio because Scorpio comes out on top. Most of the time. And so there's people who like have like, bad blood with Scorpio as a result. But I feel like you're dealing with this situation. I don't want to say you're dealing with a sneaky person or sneaky people. I just feel like this is someone who, or these are people or a situation that, you have to be cautious here, because they might kind of enjoy, surprising you in that kind of way. They might see you as like this slippery fish, that gets away, and they just might gotcha, like gotcha kind of thing. So just be sure you have your boundaries in place. Be sure that you have agreements in place. Be sure that you're not heading towards a situation where you're going to all of a sudden feel very stuck between like a rock and a hard place, especially if it involves like intellectual property. You might have a business or something that needs to be kind of made official and protected. The next card here, my darlings, is the Four of Cups. Okay, now this is kind of confirming the energy here with the King of Swords, because we were getting a sense of like contracts, agreements, negotiations, because Four of Cups can have to do with a situation where you're being offered something, but you don't like what you're being offered. Okay, you don't like what you're being offered. It's quite not enough. So for some of you, and this is like what I was saying, confirming the energy. Like there's some offer coming in for you, but then when it comes to the reality of it, you're like, I don't like this situation. I don't like what's being handed to me. So do your research, do your homework, so you don't find yourself stuck in that situation. Another message with the Four of Cups here. This is what Rumi wrote about when he discussed divine discontentment. Divine discontentment is a very fancy phrase, or a very fancy wording for being in a situation where all of a sudden you start to realize that, hey, there might be some good things in my life. There may be some decent things in my life, but man, oh man, I deserve way more than this, right? I'm a child of the universe. I'm a child of God. I deserve more than where I'm at right now. I deserve more than what I have right now. And so sometimes when we start feeling that way, especially those of us who are on a spiritual path and we're constantly striving to like try to stay in a humble energy, try to stay in a down-to-earth energy, and to be in a sense of gratitude, we might struggle with that feeling, and we might be very tempted to be like, oh, you know what, Scorpio, you're being so negative right now. You need to be happy for what you have. You can appreciate what you have. You can have gratitude for what you have, but still be in that discontentment, right? Like to not be satisfied with the way things are, because when you're in that energy, when you have that balance, you're going to be able to raise the bar, and you're going to be able to manifest much more, right? I feel, Scorpio, a lot of you are beginning to see that, hey, you know what? I worked really hard and I reached that goal. I worked really hard and I manifested these things in my life, but I'm manifesting bare minimum. Like, I want more than this. I deserve more than this. Other people have it. Why can't I? So there's a healthy entitlement here, right? Allow yourself to be in that energy, because that's going to help you make the shift and to call things in. I always give the example, if somebody is like, oh man, I'm looking for a job. I can't wait to find a job where I don't get screamed at every day, and I actually, get paid, on time, and I can just do work that I don't have to worry about doing anything wrong or anything unethical. Those are bare minimum things, right? You deserve to work in a place where you're not getting screamed at. That's abuse. You deserve to work in a place where you're actually getting paid on time. If you're working and not getting paid, that's not a job, that's slavery, right? So it's like raising the bar higher, manifesting things that make life enjoyable, the sweetness, the spice, the flavor, not just existence, but the extras, right? The bells and whistles. So Scorpio, a lot of you are coming into manifesting that kind of stuff. The next card here, my darlings, is the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is a card that comes up for me in my readings when somebody has been through the ringer, mentally, emotionally, and most Scorpios have. Scorpios tend to not have the easiest lives, right? And it's because, the Scorpio sign is about that phoenix rising energy. It's about death and rebirth. It's about cycles and overcoming challenges. So most Scorpios have very, very, very very intense experiences in their life, traumas, betrayals, things crashing down, having to rebuild. And Scorpios got really hard over the past decade and a half with the Saturn energy that we were in. And now a lot of Scorpios are coming out of that and coming into rebuilding their life. And so people might kind of see you as you have it all together. You're so lucky. You're so blessed. You're so sheltered. Nothing bad has ever happened to you. Meanwhile, you're like, okay, yeah, you keep thinking that, right? But you seem like you have it together, or you make things look so easy. When the Four of Swords comes up, though, you might be feeling in yourself, in your spirit, in your soul, how tired you are, how exhausted you are, and you might be needing this time to get away. You might be needing this time for space and for distance from others, because Four of Swords is a card about taking a little bit of a time out, resting, recuperating, rejuvenating, and it's a card about finding healing in your spiritual connection with higher self, with spirit, with God, with universe. So there's a sense of taking some time out, taking some time away, and healing, right? Through prayer, meditation. I am getting a sense here in terms of music that happens to me sometimes. I'm getting a strong Archangel Sandalphon vibe here. Archangel Sandalphon is not the hearer of prayer, but kind of transporting energy to the heavenly realm, transporting that energy, transporting that prayer, or that wish that we might be offering up. He's also associated with music, okay? He's associated with music So I feel like some of you are doing a lot of healing, a lot of release, quite literally. Like you're laying down, and I feel like you've got the lights off. Scorpios like to be in the dark. Like you're laying down, you have the lights off or the lights dim. You might even have your candles going. And I feel like you're just like getting lost in your music and healing in your music. Okay. Some of you are going to have an unexpected, sudden opportunity to travel, to take some kind of a trip. And so I feel like you're having a very spiritual experience in that travel, in that trip, right? So maybe you're experiencing nature in a way that feels very magical to you, where you're having this mental clarity, and all of a sudden there's this aha moment, or this epiphany, where you're feeling inspired to take certain steps in your life moving forward. But I feel a sense of just kind of getting away from the chaos, getting to a quiet place, and just really being able to rest. Rest, rest, rest. Your next card here, my dears, is the Knight of Wands, okay? And Knight of Wands is fire energy, okay? So if you have fire sign placements, it could be that these are the energies coming to the surface for you, or these placements are coming up as like a focus in your life. Knight of Wands is a very passionate, very fast moving card, a very fast moving energy. So I feel that in this moment of solitude, there's this inspiration that's coming in, and you might be charging ahead full speed, where you're like, okay, I'm going to make all this stuff happen. Go, go, go kind of energy. Some of you are dealing with this Knight of Wands. And um, I have to say here, this is especially true for those of you that are in this situation. When I talked about that song, that police song that was coming up in my head, um, the Knight of Wands, I feel, my dears, like there's someone who maybe is kind of pushing you in a direction, because the Knight of Wands, you guys have heard me say in the past, Knight of Wands is somebody here who's not here for a long time. They're here for a good time, and they kind of come in and out of your life like an outdoor cat. I'm not getting that vibe from the Knight of Wands in this situation, but I am getting someone who might be a little pushy, someone who might be coming in with like ultimatums. Like you're working on something and they want to come in and they want to kind of tell you how to do it, right? But this is your baby. This is your baby. Don't give up your baby. So I feel like there needs to be balance here, in how you're doing it and how you're moving things forward. You might even be in this Four of Swords energy, because this person who's coming in, whether it's romantic, whether it's partnership, or in terms of business, or somebody who's trying to go through this chapter with you, you might be distancing yourself from this person, not because you don't want them around, but like it might be a little too intense for you. So you might be like, look, I just need some space, or I'm working on something right now. You might be kind of trying to slow down this really fast moving, very intense energy. I feel like some of you are dealing with a very intense energy, a very intense person. I also feel here there's like some kind of energy, like I'm seeing like off-roading, right? It's so funny because as I'm looking at this, those of you who watch my channel, I read intuitively. I feel like this stuff here on this horse is like dust, like dust, or dirt that's got kicked up, and I'm getting a sense or a feeling of like going off the path, like off-roading kind of thing. So I feel some of you are working on something maybe a little bit secretively. Maybe you're not telling everybody about it. You're going about it in a covert way, the back roads kind of way, avoiding the main roads kind of way. And I feel like somebody maybe is trying to rush you, like hurry up, let's get this done. And I feel like this is like, no, no, you have to be the balanced one here. You have to be like, you know I want to take my time with this, or I need to take my time with this kind of energy, and like not to be rushed. For some reason I feel like some things are being done in secret here, and that's like creating the energy of, oh, hurry up and get it done and get it done. And so I feel like what the cards here are saying is no, 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 don't rush. Don't rush, don't rush, don't rush. Take your time. It's coming together. Okay. Maybe check out your moon sign, your rising sign videos. Some weeks those might resonate with you more than others. If you are looking for a love and romance reading, check out the love and romance readings for March that are linked in the description. I will have the April readings up soon. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Bye, Scorpio.